Bama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Rammer, jammer, yellow hammer, come see how we rock this. Alabama fans the best, there's no way you can top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Welcome to the process, Crimson Tide Recruiting. I'm your host, Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst, Touchdown Alabama magazine. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Tuesday's episode of the process. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to Touchdown Alabama on YouTube. Stay updated on everything Alabama football recruiting and everything Alabama football encompasses when you look at Stephen M. Smith Show in my own words, and also picking up a subscription to Touchdown Alabama. So stay updated on everything Alabama football with Touchdown Alabama on YouTube. And on this episode of the process, I wanted to take a look at some recruits Alabama looks to be trending for heading into the end of June and the earlier part of July. Just talk about some recruits I feel Alabama is making some moves for heading into the next couple of weeks. But before I dive deeper into that, I do have a couple of recruiting updates to provide you guys with. I'm going to hit you guys with those recruiting updates. Then we're going to dive into some recruits who I feel Alabama is making a move for heading into the next couple of weeks. So with that being said, let's get the process started. I have a couple of interesting recruiting updates to hit you guys with today. The first one is undoubtedly the biggest one, as I recently caught up with 2021 four-star defensive end Thomas Adelie, who will play his senior season at IMG Academy. I caught up with them and he told me that the Tide was in contact with them pretty much every day, staying in contact, telling him that they're going to keep the door open. They're going to keep the contact flowing, as they're going to tell him that you still have an opportunity to join our 2021 recruiting class, because you never know what happens in the recruiting world. Things change every day. You never know what could happen down the line. So they're keeping that door open and they're staying in contact with Thomas Adelie every day. I did write an article with Adelie interviewing him about what he heard from Alabama. You guys check out that article on Touchdown Alabama. I will drop the link in the description of this video so you can read up on the latest of Thomas Adelie and the Tide's push for him as of late. Alabama is still continuing to extend new offers. They recently offered 2022 four-star offensive lineman Jacob Sexton, who actually recently worked out with the Brockermeyer twins. We know the Tide is really pushing for those guys in the 2021 recruiting class, so they have a great relationship with Jacob Sexton. And Alabama offered Sexton, and I recently caught up with Sexton and talked about his Alabama offer, Nick Saban, and a lot more. You guys check out that article on Touchdown Alabama as well. I will drop the link in the description of this video, so read up on Jacob Sexton and his offer from the Tide and what he feels about Nick Saban and what the Tide has been able to do under Nick Saban during the Nick Saban era. And as some of you guys know, you pay attention to Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. I traveled to Montgomery on Monday and I actually got a chance to catch up with the Tide's 2021 three-star defensive tackle commit Inquin Barnes, a guy who stands at 6'6" and weighs 305 pounds at the moment. You guys check out that video interview on our YouTube page. Also caught up with his teammate, a 6'4", 345-pound offensive lineman in the 2022 recruiting class, who I feel could make some noise heading into his junior season and possibly gain some D1 attention. He does not have an offer at this very moment, but Dimitri McKee is a guy to pay attention to in the state of Alabama in terms of the 2022 recruiting class being a loaded class for the state. Once again, I will drop the link to Dimitri McKee's article in this link in the description of this video, so stay updated on everything Alabama recruiting with Touchdown Alabama. And as I said earlier in the show, the Tide did pick up a commitment from J.C. Latham on last week on Friday. We got you guys covered on the latest with J.C. Latham, from interviews with his head coach at IMG Academy, some things he told me about Latham, from getting a chance to break down what his commitment means for the Tide's 2021 recruiting class on our YouTube page. So we got you guys updated on J.C. Latham and his commitment to the Tide. But now I'm going to dive into some of the recruits I feel the Tide is making a move for in the 2021 recruiting class, which could pay off in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to talk about a couple of guys who I feel the Tide is trending upwards for in the 2021 recruiting class. And the first guy I want to talk about is Alabama's 2021 four-star wide receiver target, Malcolm Johnson Jr. out of Maryland. I think Alabama is trending for this kid for several different reasons. Of course, Alabama is looking to pull in a good number of wide receivers in the 2021 recruiting class. They currently have verbal commitments from A.J. Hall and also Ja'Cory Brooks, more long wide receivers, guys who stand around 6'3" to 6'4". So they're your lengthy wide receivers you want to see out wide. And Alabama is looking to add a speedy wide receiver to fill in a role like Jalen Waddle will fill in this season. I think Malcolm Johnson has that makeup, a speedy kid, one of the fastest kids in the country in the 2021 recruiting class. And the way Alabama has used their wide receivers during the last couple of seasons has really stand out to Malcolm Johnson, and giving the opportunity to let those wideouts get the football in their hand and just use their weapons and use their speed to their advantage, getting them the football on those slants route and just letting them go to work. And I think that is something that has really stood out to Malcolm Johnson. He told me that was one of the things he really liked about Alabama when he offered him. He also told me that he really liked the fact that Alabama was able to turn Henry Ruggs into the first wide receiver off the board in this past NFL draft. I actually got a chance to talk with him soon after Henry Ruggs was drafted, and he told me that really stood out to him. He see himself being in a similar role to the way that Alabama used Henry Ruggs at the college football level. So Alabama is in a good position. They are an attractive destination for Malcolm Johnson. I think he's alluding to dropping a top 5 soon, and I expect Alabama to be in that mix. I think Alabama is just trending upwards for this kid, and I think Alabama is in a good position for him. Dallas Turner, a 2021 four-star defensive end out of Florida, is another guy I'll put in the mix when it comes to the Tide. Trending upwards for him as of late. Dallas Turner is a product of St. Thomas Aquinas, who will play with St. Thomas Aquinas this upcoming season for his senior season. I think Alabama has really sold themselves really well to not only him but to his family, and I think his family is really impressed with what the university has to offer its student athletes. But I don't think that's going to be the thing that really takes the Tide over the top. I think the thing that's really going to take the Tide over the top is the success that they've had with prospects from the state of Florida, specifically South Florida, and I think that is something that's really going to stand out to where really stands out to Dallas Turner in his family, as they have talked to guys who have come from South Florida and went on to play their college football in Tuscaloosa and have had great success. One of those guys is a guy who is currently on Alabama's roster, and Patrick Surtain Jr., as Dallas Turner actually played his last couple of seasons at American Heritage in Florida and Plantation, Florida, which was the school that Patrick Surtain played at. And I think Dallas Turner has a great relationship with Surtain and his family, and they talked about what Alabama has done for their son. And I think that has really spoke volumes when you get a chance to hear from people that talk about another school. I think that speaks volume. I think that goes deeper than what a college football coach can say. A guy that you basically just met during the recruitment process, meeting the guy that you know outside, just personal as a friend, getting a chance to hear them talk about a school is always different. So I will put Dallas Turner in the mix as well. The last guy I want to talk about is Kendrick Blackshear, the 2021 four-star linebacker at Duncanville High School in Duncanville, Texas. This is a kid who a lot of Alabama fans have been asking me about for the last couple of weeks, and it looks like Alabama is definitely in a great position with Blackshear. When you look at his recruitment, he did drop that top 6 in April and included the Tide. But I think one of the things that is really working in the Tide's favor is the fact that Kendrick Blackshear actually suffered an injury where he missed his entire junior season due to the fact that he tore his ACL. And we look at the University of Alabama and what they have dealt with at the linebacker position for the last couple of years, it seems, that with those injuries, those lower body injuries to their linebacker core. And I think that their training staff and also they're also having Jeff Allen on their medical staff. I think that really helps Alabama, just showing Blackshear and his family that we have dealt with ACL injuries in the past, and we have dealt with them. Got guys back on the field. We go back to the season where Terrell Lewis was able to come back. So I think that is something that's really going to stand out to a linebacker. Definitely a kid who got injured and is looking to not get injured again, trying to continue his football career. I think that is something that is really going to stand out and is really going to attract a high school athlete in his family. And I think the fact that Alabama has produced a good amount of linebackers, sending those guys to the NFL continuously. Nick Saban always seems to have a great linebacker every couple of years. So I think that is something that's very attractive to Blackshear as well. When you look at Kendrick Blackshear, this is a guy who's one of the more put together prospects in this 2021 recruiting class. When you look at him, he's really a monster almost. He stands at 6'2" and weighs 250 pounds, and it looks like it's all muscle. So he's going to be a kid with a lot of strength. And I think the fact that he's going to head into his senior season and show what he can do during his senior season, we're really going to see how he bounces back from that injury, and really going to see what he really can do. So Alabama looks to be in a good position with them. With them dropping that Final Six in April, a decision could come this summer, because this is a trend that we have seen a lot of kids do as of late when they start dropping those final school lists, dropping them down to 6, 5, 4, or possibly even 3. Their commitment could come soon thereafter. So a commitment could come for him this summer, and Alabama does still look to be in a great position. He has not announced a commitment date yet, and it doesn't look like he has a commitment date at this very moment, but he could announce it in the coming days, coming weeks, or possibly next month. You never know with him, but Alabama does look like they're in a great position. That will do it for this episode of The Process. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube to stay updated on everything Alabama football recruiting with The Process and yours truly. And also stay updated on everything Alabama football by downloading the Touchdown Alabama app, so notifications can come to your phone or tablet or whatever type of device that you currently have. The app is located in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. Then pick up a subscription to Touchdown Alabama. With this subscription, you'll be able to read all of our subscriber-only articles and also read all of our in-depth analysis about Alabama's upcoming draft eligible players, and also read all of our in-depth analysis about Alabama's current commits in each recruiting class. So be sure to grab a subscription to Touchdown Alabama.com, and then you'll be able to read all of our subscriber only stuff, and we'll also begin cracking out our premium videos. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe so you can get your hands on those premium videos as soon as possible. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine.